What's up, everybody? We got the tea with THC today with JImbo, aka Smoking Santa, our favorite Santa, of course. What's up, JImbo?
What's up? What's up?
Man, it's great to have you on the tea, man. You already know it's. I had to reach out so we could connect and spill a little.
Right, right.
Will you tell everybody a little bit about yourself? You know, I always call you Jimbo, but everybody knows you mostly as Smoking Santa. Tell us a little bit
You
about.
know, I just told someone the other day, if you call me Jimbo, you've known me for more than 3 years because this is the fourth year coming up. So yeah, everyone, some people don't even call me Smoking Santa. They just call me Santa, and I answer to it. So I try to keep the Jimbo in there, but you know, Smoking Santa's closet is growing, and Jimbo's isn't getting any bigger. So I would say I have more Smoking Santa stuff hanging right now than I do my own clothing.
That's
um,
crazy.
it's been fun. It's been a lot of fun doing Smoking Santa. You know how it started with Sanjay, and she said, "Come on, do a Santa thing," and I kind of jumped on it and rolled with it. And as you know, I mean, I was sick a lot of that time too, laying down, literally healing and dreaming about going to events. I'd follow people, and I'm hard everything. I so meant that. You know what I mean? I just told Bradley, I said, B, I so meant all those hearts that I gave you because I was watching you as I was just literally laying in the bed healing. And that kind of that carries weight. You know what I mean? Someone eventually says, "Hey, this motherfucker's been here a long time." Um, now that I've gotten busier, I don't have as much time to visit all those people, and ask all those questions. So you lose in some ways, but you gain in others because the time you use to repost and like everybody else's stuff, now it's more focused on, man, I got to edit a video. I got to, these people are asking, "Hey, do you have footage from that event?" And I'm like, "Yes, I do. I just haven't gotten to it." So
Right.
I'm pretty busy. There's a little bit of a learning curve. Um, Daddy Danks has been nothing but helpful to me. I mean, yeah, from the very beginning. I've been going there about 7 or 8 years. So I kind of knew him and I kind of knew what I wanted to do. And then I pitched it and they said, "Yeah, how about Thursday?" And I said, how about Thursday a week?" And he said, "What? Nah."
That's
So
true.
it's still in the works. I've had a lot of fun with it. I had Hustling James on there, him and I just saying whatever, talking about whatever, the Vocal ET, of course, and the Highly Connected. Um, and then I had some friends of mine, Chef Boo and Nitro. They do elevated infusions, which they're doing an event on the 19th that Smoking Santa will be a part of. Um, they're really cool people. If you guys get a chance, you need to look at some of that. I've yet to develop a space where I will post the entire video. I'm working on that.
It's a lot of
Um,
work.
as all this stuff came up, I started getting better and feeling better. And now I probably feel better than I have in, some people will tell you, my entire life. But I'm able to put more time and more effort into what I'm doing. I don't have a regular job. I would never be sitting here in the afternoon talking to you when I was back at CB Distillery, right? I
Mhm.
mean, I remember one time you hit me up and you go, "Oh, what you got going on, Jimbo?" And I'm like, "What's up? What's up?" And you're like, "Come up to Red Rocks at 1 o'clock today. Yeah, we're all going to be up there and sesh and take some pictures." And I'm like, "I have a real job, yo. I can't just."
Hey, it's a real
But
job.
hey, now I'm there though. You know what I mean? If you want to go live with Smoking Santa, you need to be available at noon Mountain Time on Thursday.
Hmm.
Customers coming in and out of Daddy Danks. Uh, I know you know Hannah. I ran into her. She walked in there. Out of all the people that could walk in there, she walks in there. And I hadn't seen her in a couple of years. So I like that. I like the custom because you can hear stuff going on. It's a business. They're working. You can hear them mumbling in the back, talking about stuff and kind of the environment I wanted. And I was hoping, yeah, eventually some people will start popping in, and out of the blue, here comes Hannah, someone that I know and love, and I hadn't seen in a couple of years, and it was just great, man. It's really great doing it.
That's awesome. It's cool to see you from, when we were in the trim room, you were always talking about building a persona and building an image and building a brand. And
No,
who the hell would have known
I,
that it would have been
I
Smoking
mean,
Santa?
think about it though. If I would have started this 10 years ago, but I didn't have it. It just didn't work that way. It didn't fall that way.
Hmm.
I mean, I'm in production. I'm
Hmm.
working for a CBD company now. I have, this ain't the trim room where we can get out of there at 12 o'clock.
Right.
No, it's 10 hours a day, scrubbing your hands. And when you're not scrubbing your hands, it's scrubbing the floor, you know, worth every bit of it, worth every bit of it. Man, I learned so much being with that company. I was already an infusion guy. So they're like, hey, let's make gummies. And I'm like, hell yes. Hell yes.
Tell us what you were doing, because you were running the gummies there, and then Daryl was there from the trim room. Can you
Uh-huh.
explain a little bit of the process and how you transitioned from all the different jobs in the industry and what's that look like?
You know, the CBD world was very different for me. It's the same, but it's different, right? They got the same leaf, and that change was hard. I lost a lot jumping out of the cannabis business because I lost a lot of connects. I lost a lot of people. I used to trim for some home grows. Those people went back home. So I started producing less of my oils because I was just, I'm short on supply. Now
Right.
I'm trying to push CBD because I'm making gummies, I'm bottling it up, measuring it out. Um, what was the question?
And what about, the industry that we met in, and how was that for you and that experience in the cannabis space?
Um, I saw more money, personally saw more money and more money being made in the CBD industry.
Interesting.
Um, I mean, I made quite a few people rich working there. I can tell you that. But like I said, it's one of the best jobs I've had ever.
Yeah.
Um, they gave me everything I asked for and then more.
That's
You feed people, that's a bonus. Um, but yeah, I personally saw a lot more money, even coming from general manager at a dispensary. I
mhm.
saw more money putting oil into bottles and formulating gummy recipes.
And you think that was because of the distribution and the access that that industry has versus the limited, uh,
Absolutely,
regulated space?
absolutely, because they could ship. I think there were at that time there were only two states they couldn't ship to. They came
Yeah.
up with this THC gummy via the Delta 9 and all that other stuff, and there were two states they couldn't ship that to. So
Mhm.
once they did that, yeah, it said THC, CBD, and people were just
Buy it.
there was no limit. Yeah, there was no limit. Why get one? Get three. I'm going to give one to my sister and one to my neighbor. You know what I
Right.
mean? It was just, yeah, their access was incredible. It
I,
was,
I think the hemp space is actually the best strategy right now, and continues to be, I guess, depending on, what avenues you take. But really, the hemp space is where the access is.
yes,
Where
it
it's
is.
strict, so much restriction in the medical markets, even in the recreational markets. So the hemp way is, though a very strategic way to build in the industry. And just like you said right now, I mean, that's where a lot of the money was coming at for a while, and then that got saturated, and the space, had to settle out, and
Yeah,
obviously
yeah,
the price,
yeah.
just like
Uh,
anything else, have crashed.
our operation was set up to do 5 million tinctures a year.
Damn.
We are going to run two shifts, and we slowly slipped out of the tincture business, as everyone did, because now they're putting it in caplets, they're putting in gummies. I think it's a lot easier to connect some people that are older, I say, i.e., my generation or seniors even, to CBD gummies and caplets because they're not used to dripping stuff in their coffee. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They're not used to drip. They're not used to taking the liquid medicine.
right.
You know, so yeah, they take pills and they have gummy vitamins and all that shit for seniors. So yeah,
Booming.
there's a
100%.
huge market for pet CBD. I
Yeah.
mean, I hear more people talk about what it did for their pets than what it did for them. And
Hmm.
I think part of the reason is some people can't afford to treat themselves and their animal because it's cheaper now, but 5 years ago, I mean, you're talking 60, $80 for, a small bottle.
Right.
That's a lot of money, So, um, but it was more me. It was more where I belonged. Should have never left the grow. Should have never left the trim. You know what I mean? jumped
Those are
into
some
that
good times. Those
jumped
are
into
some
that
good
customer
times.
service thing. You know what I'm saying? Because yeah, managing a dispensary is it's fun for a while, but it's it's just not it's not popular. A
Yeah.
lot of I hired a bud tender years ago, and he ended up managing a small dispensary, not very busy,
Uh,
but he was managing the place. Him and one other employee, and they were paying him $20 an hour. I mean, he's doing it all. He's uploading every. I mean,
it's crazy how they do that.
he's covering it.
Yeah.
And I hit him up and I said, hey man, how you doing? He goes, man, I'm managing over here. And I'm like, oh yeah. And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, so just out of curiosity, what kind of do they bonus you, or what kind of money are you looking at? And he said, oh, I'm 22 an hour. And I'm like, and you do everything. You bring in the vendor stuff, you count the money at night. And the guy that he worked with, I think he was making 16. And if it's, like I said, it's not a very busy dispensary, but still the same amount of crap has
Oh,
to go on within metric,
right.
whether you're any one or whether you're any 500, it's still an action that has to happen. And I'm like, kid, I tried to talk him into coming to the CBD world with me. And I'm like, off the street, you're going to get more than that, and
Right.
you're not even in the CBD industry.
Yeah.
So,
It's a tough space. I mean, there used to be good money in it, and more as the space has matured, that's just diminished. It's now basically minimum wage most places, and they'll just shift you out. They're not gonna sit here. They're not looking for quality. They're looking for quantity and just hands and labor until people are just had enough and just get out of there. you know.
right
So it's a little tough to compete with.
now, I do have a feeling, and I might even say I know for a fact that large CBD companies that we won't mention, they're waiting for this THC thing to flip,
Oh,
because
100%.
all you're going to do is not add CBD and you're going to add THC. You know what I mean? And the company I worked for, they'd already had distribution. That's what I
Right.
keep telling people. I'm like, man, if you really want to sell something, you got to make sure you got distribution, or you
Yeah.
have time to do it yourself. You know,
Sales is
distribution
everything.
takes a long time. Packaging, you got to go buy packaging. You got to order the wrong packaging. I got the wrong size box. They delivered the wrong shit. There's a lot that goes on with that.
100%.
I
No,
don't want to have anything to do with that unless it's very organized. And this
those
company was very organized, very structured, and serious about what they were doing. They were trying to put out the best product that they could.
right.
It's kind of like people they try to grow the best weed in the world. And I always tell them, I say, hey man, you can't grow the best weed in the world. You just got to grow the best weed you can grow. There's a lot of things that come looking at a High Times magazine. And you're like, well, my nugs don't look like this. Dude, I don't care how they look. I want to know how they smoke, because that's
Right.
where it all ends up anyway. It doesn't matter, to
Yeah. 100%.
me.
So Jimbo, What do you hope to accomplish in this space? What do you hope to leave what's your legacy, your name? What's Smoking Santa leaving?
Um, as I've thought about this and we've talked about it a lot, and I've come up with all these different ideas,
Yes.
all this different advice, all this different notes, physically written notes of how I was going to do this. I have 3 years of taking in information from different people. I threw it all into a pile, took out a few little things, threw the rest away.
That's how you
I
do it,
know,
huh?
I told someone the other day I've had advice on everything from microphones to beards. Okay. They remark on you know what you should do with your outfit? I'm like, you know what you should do with your outfit? Oh, you don't have one? Oh, I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Not that I'm not open to suggestion, but if you don't have a beard and you're unable to grow a beard, what are you going to tell me about my beard, man? Can you even help me with it? Do you even so um I like the beard. It brings a lot to it. This is the longest it's ever been, and I don't see a stop to it just yet. So it took me 10 years to get my hair cut when I grew it out. It might take me 10 years to get this beard cut and into place. I kind of like the fuzzy stoner look. I kind of think of Tommy Chong crawling out of the ditch when Cheech
Mhm.
picks him up in smoke, and his beard's all every which way. Yeah, I'm an amateur Tommy Chong in a Santa suit. Where do I see myself? You know, a lot of people are going to show up when I die because I have made so many friends, and just out of respect, they're just going to say, "Man, we need to at least send a vibe, light a candle or something." Um, and I've told people this before, and I found out about the rap world too. Here in Denver, they have like little cliques of rappers, right? And they're just all kind of in their little space. It's the same, and I know you know this. It's the same way within cannabis.
Yes.
They all have their little clique, highly connected. Who are they? And I'm like, are you serious? I ain't been nothing but highly connected. So and I saw all those cliques come together. Izzy, she puts together the backyard boogie. What a crazy cool event. You know what I mean? And
Yes.
you meet so many people there. But all these people, once the event's over, they all go back to their little cliques. Well, I'm trying to get to all of them. I'm trying to swim to every little clique.
Yeah.
There's a couple of cliques that I'm not going to touch, but yeah. I mean, as you know, I did drag. So Smoking Santa they're people that do drag, they smoke weed and a
Yep.
lot of it. That's partly why I hung out with them.
Yep.
So um, I'm looking to venture off into some of that. I don't think I will ever perform again in drag. That kind of came up at the same time Smoking Santa did, and Smoking Santa just seemed to be a better fit for me. Um, it's hard putting on makeup.
I could imagine.
Yeah. I was. Oh
For
man,
you.
I spent all 3 months preparing. I would block out 2 to 3 hours in a day just to practice makeup because I didn't know what I was going to do. I knew I was going to do a split face because I did the male and the female thing, but I didn't know, you know, it came together. It came together. The good part is I only had to make up one side of my face. The other side I just made a little darker, and then I colored my beard real dark. And I had the purple beard over here, and I was well received. I really was. I was surprised. I know people now that have had top surgery, and I'm like, I would never have met anyone that had top surgery unless I was involved with this group.
Yeah.
I talk about the kids that I reached, through AG and the little event that he had down there. People I never thought I would reach, and here's these little kids, and they think I'm the dude, man. I was. It was like I flew in on an angel.
That's awesome.
So I've touched a lot of people's lives in that way. Um,
Man, I
I,
remember.
I'm going to run this until I either don't feel like running it or I can't run it anymore.
Yeah.
Um, it's hard sometimes because of the technology. Everything that you do, it takes me twice as long to do. Just think about it that way. Not everything, but a lot of things. You know what I mean? Because I could huff down a joint quicker than you. I know. But
Oh,
you see what I'm saying? It just take
of
yeah.
course.
You've been handling old smoking Santa here with kid gloves, hitting me with feathers. Oh well, you just push the button and there it is. No, it ain't fucking there. Oh, you're on your cell phone? Yeah, I'm on the cell phone. Oh, naughty list. Naughty list. Right there. Just check.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Um I just I don't know. I want to be remembered. You know what I mean? I tell people all the time I get a kick out of seeing the pictures that I'm in and knowing in 30 years, I'm not going to be looking at them, but there'll
Mhm.
be other people looking at them.
Right.
I have some footage of I want to say she was 5 or 6 year old that me coming out of an event. And she said she wanted to make a TikTok video. And I said, okay. So I sat down and sat my camera up. And she jumped right up next to me. And I could already see she was ready to go, getting ready to make TikTok. I said, okay, I'm going to show you how I do it. And then you do it. Uh, and the parents, there wasn't a lot of light in there. So the parents were holding up cell phones, but they just had the flashlights on. And I said, are you guys recording? And they were all like, no, no, because they thought I was going to be offended, that I don't know, I wasn't getting paid or tip or whatever. And I said, listen, you guys need to record this. We need to touch this because I knew that little person right there is going to look at that footage in 30, 40 years and go, look at this old goat. And what is it I'm saying? Because I couldn't understand what she was saying. She was like, it didn't matter. She knew what she was saying, and that's what counts. So Smoking Santa was in her house and did a TikTok video with her that will never be published.
But the memory will always live
I'll
on.
let her publish it for my legacy.
Yeah, of course, of course. So where?
Um,
Go ahead.
go ahead.
I was just
Son,
gonna say, where everyone could find you. You have something else?
I could go for a long time, but we're not going to do that. I have my own stuff to do now. I've started going live on Instagram at noon on Thursdays from Daddy Danks.
Yes.
That's pretty exciting. It takes up time because you have to set it up and you have to make and it involves your time and other people's time. And I'm so
100%.
grateful that some people just want to give up their time. They want to say it is worth the trip for me to come down there and get with you. First thing I'm going to do is introduce you to my Daddy Danks fam. They're real cool people. Touching the industry, but not in the industry. You see what I mean? That's a whole nother clique. Glass blowers. I've met a lot of glass blowers. That's a whole nother little clique. Dabbers. There's a whole clique of dabbers over there that they never smoke weed.
Right, right. No, I think that's great. I think that now that you're doing all these things, you see really what goes into it. Because a lot of people think, oh, it's just pictures, or oh, it's just events, and oh, you all you do is party, and it's like that shit's a lot of work.
Oh yeah. I
Promoting
mean,
things, attending things, being there, following through, doing the edits, posting that shit, having just good spirit as you do all of it. We all human, and like some days are better than others. And there's like, 20, 30 days that goes into each and anchored event. Whether the promotions go down, whether during the event you have to be present and then pass, once the event passed, you have to follow up and do all the things to make it convert or pass on any production agreements, any kind of responsibilities you had. So I think it's cool that you really see the full scope of everything, because I know it's been you tapped into us early on through the events and everything we were doing, and people just don't understand it fully. It is a lot of
yeah,
freaking work.
no, they don't. I mean, you can look at me and say, yeah, man, it's real easy to put on a Santa suit and just come out. Okay. If it's fucking easy, bro, do it. I'm endorsing you too. You know why? I have no competition out here. I am the one and only smoking Santa.
Yeah.
Even if I have to limit myself, I'm the one and only smoking Santa in the United States. And then I can keep going down further until I say right here in my studio, I'm the only smoking Santa. But I'm one of a kind. Um, somebody said I'm a good times guru. I hope so. I try to be a good, you even without the suit, I'll be cracking people up, Krista. How many times have you laughed with me?
Of course.
Hundreds. Every time you look at me, in or out of the drip, you got to smile. You got to laugh.
Remember when you used to put the mirror around the corner and look at us through that shit?
Yeah. Yeah. You know why? Because I know what y'all are up to.
That
Same
shit
shit I
was.
was up to just 30 years earlier. Right. Yeah. I just thought about the mirrors the other day because, when we had to face the wall, I put up like 8 of those mirrors. I'm like, I need to see what's going on behind me.
That
I'm not
shit.
going to let somebody sneak up on me. Uh-uh. And they're like, oh, you're safe. You're in the trim room. We have this. We have that. No, you don't have shit. You don't have shit. A little lock on the door. No.
I know that shit was sketch. No,
It
but
kind
tell
of
everybody,
was. I mean, that's why they keep it a secret place.
right,
Yeah.
right. But tell everybody where they can find you, get to know Smokey Santa a little bit more, all the things.
Okay. You can find me at Daddy Danks on Thursday every noon. 6401 West Alameda. It's in Lakewood. Schedule the time and come see me. I'm looking for guests. I have our Lamar coming up this Thursday, and I don't have one for next Thursday. And I got a couple of maybes. You know how maybes work? I hate maybes, man. Come on. But I got a couple of maybes for February. I'm sorry, April. And I'm doing a thing with Elevated Infusions on the 19th of April. I've teamed up with one of the Daddy Danks family members, artist, rapper, singer, performer. I went and saw him perform Saturday night. Anyway, I'm hooking up with that. That's my new pal there. MNG, what's up? What's up? I've never been down to the Capitol here in Denver
On 420?
on 420.
Oh wow! I used to skip.
So
I used to skip high school and go to the Capitol on 420.
that's what everyone's saying. That's what
Yeah,
everyone's saying. Yeah, yeah.
you got to go to the Capitol on 420.
So
Back then it was like getting signatures. Now it's like a whole show. But
yeah. I mean, yeah. I've seen it grow from the outside since I've been here. Yeah.
right.
When I first got here, it was 2014, and it wasn't. They didn't have all the gates up, and they didn't have all the things blocked and all that. I mean, it was just like
Yeah.
a mob. So I'm going to do that. Maybe do a couple other little things on 420. Definitely content. And that's where my guy comes in because I can't do a one-man show with a tripod all the time, especially if I'm going to go out there. And you know me, I'll be right in the middle of that crowd.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping they send a helicopter over because then they'd be like, take a snapshot and they'd be like, where's Santa? You know what I mean?
Hell yeah. Well, that's awesome. So if you want to find Smoking Santa, definitely find him at Daddy Dinks.
Definitely find me at Daddy Danks. Find me 420
Capitol.
in front of the Capitol. You can also follow me on Instagram, Smoking Santa JImbo, underscores in between that. Sometimes I do stuff on Facebook, and I know Chris is going to be kind of upset at me because I'm not working that platform like I should. But it's all a work in progress. I'm going to run the Daddy Danks thing until they tell me I can't do it there anymore. I may do some other events other Thursdays outside of Daddy Danks because I know not everyone can come to Daddy Danks. I'm still considering that. I'm definitely coming up with session with Smoking Santa because I've had a couple of people that get into my chariot. That's what I call it my chariot. It's not a sled because we clam bake it. And I had a couple of people get in there, and then after it's all done, after the session's done, I'm like, we should have recorded that.
Oh my God.
So
Well,
now we're going to go in with the intent of recording that, and that'll probably be that. I'll do that on YouTube. I don't know if I'll do it live because I can capture more people if it's not live. You know what I mean? Just if I could schedule 3 or 4 people in a day, I'd go to 3 or 4 sessions just in my chariot. So I'm looking forward to that. That really puts you closer to people than you'll ever be. It's as close as I want to get to some people. I got the little console in the middle of my car, and I'm good with that.
All right. Well, cool. Well, then let's let everybody know they can find you on Smoking Santa _JImbo.
Yep.
And that's the T. And they'll find out some more, hopefully at Daddy Danks.
Oh yeah. There's I need to pitch you on this one.
Oh, I'm gonna
everyone while we're recording.
Go ahead.
I'm looking to showcase products for people who cannot be there. You know what I mean? If you have, I did it with James's tea. I did it with Chamoy candy. I could do it with like Smoking Santa.
All right.
Right.
And where can people email to let you know about that?
JImbo Barber, BARBOUR @gmail.
All right, dope. We'll drop that in the information, and that way everyone can follow up there. Okay.
For sure.
All right. It's a pleasure, JImbo. I appreciate you so much.
I appreciate you, Krysta. And we'll see you soon, yeah?
That's the T.
Peace.